In town, check the car.
I don't know what.
Yeah, upon one.
I don't know
what you me think kind.
I don't know.
Me a fancy. Me fancy me massive figure and casa. And tell me chini ya papa.
So all we can crowd ya na papa.
Yeah, one in him. Yendi and namna. You humping for any new movie in Komokaka. Because I'm painful. Almost get a chain and color. Nama see. Maybe I was a man baby. I do so yeah. Man baby, I'm see. So over my who can need in Komokaka.
See, I had to go and appoint to who I had to do it. Say, baby, walk around, young Kuma, walk around. Into millions of my heart. Young Kuma, couldn't take Catalan, you go to Cano.
None of you so come.
You could walk the corner of Bobo, Proviano, the choir with a book at there. Put him out to the Socola, the Jewel Gun. You see, as we say, a book, Ruma, or no, I guess, no, what we say, what we say, Bial, always after or in a broom, or for us, they blow up, me, and me, people, blow the academic.
Academic.
But come up, Cobrano, you see, a Santi. I have put my buy. I one, nipa 5. And you go pass.
Hey,
you will buy a toilet. You to let any money that you say, enter. Nipa 5, I mean, nipa wapo, and I will pass and put me. I say, or Biaba. Want to mind, I mean, a transit. Wow, you get transit. Okay, I don't know that for only TQ. Yeah, the APS anti ban here TQ. So my man carado. Money in a crowd. Say that to ever to Henny. Never to Gunga fee. Gunga. Maybe I'm sure I do a Mecca Monte chin into Mincho Musumukaka. No more saying agent come on. Guys, I'm excited. I just came to meet my elder. I haven't even asked the name yet. So I actually asked him for a place to pee because I know if you're a spiritual person, it's not everywhere that you can pee. So I asked him if I could pee, and he showed me a place down here that I can go down and pee. So and when I was coming back, I was led to actually have a conversation with him. So we started a conversation talking about a place to pee, and he was telling me that, or he's telling me that it's not everywhere that you can pee, because as you can see, we have stones around, rocks around the whole place. There's a lot of stones around the place. So once he gave me the permission, you can see some of the stones around. Once he gave me the permission, I decided to pee and come back, and he said that it's not everywhere that you can pee, and it's not everywhere you can even sit, like as we sit in on this. There are places that when you sit, the chief would have to call you, and you have to perform certain rites, certain customs. And they came from the Ashanti Kingdom, and during the war times they came. They were just 5 people with a nephew. So the 5 people with a nephew came to settle here at Latte. I'm actually at Latte. So when they came to settle, the chief gave them Amankrado. The chief gave them the title Amankrado, the one that oversees and governs and supervises the place. So once the title was given them, they came to meet the chief himself. They came to meet the stool chief, the chief in charge of all the stools, and the chief himself. So I haven't even asked his name, and I'm yet to ask his name, so that we continue our conversation. Wow, inti mumbeto akunja heno ono hena kasa. Ndiye ba ro kubrum no hena ne no hoda dawo. Ndiye awe say if baby ni aba ana woro kuro ya bua o ndiye bua o ana wo to my baby ni try. Ada bro ye try na o pa awa pa ha kwa so da ya for o te do ade ai kuma. Kwa nkran good na kwa akusu bua. Okay. Me wa na da no na so second one this and so far. But man, I could see what I did.
Yeah, and in a half, and you are in the Babylon of the free and crying, and how they bound your point of honey. Until I Tromania, so what to hold you now, or how much I want to offer how bet me do. Yeah, oh, okay. What is here, Sunny, son of a could do I come as a crop of four. Oh, okay. And dinner, pressing up and say, Jenny or friends a month before. Month before, only anyone have here. Oh, okay. If he joins in on one, we drew high in an eye like the water. Oh, see a water that I come for a kid, as I am to Quabron, yay, to Manco, home to for do and do for a boss is here. Oh, wow. I will far for Mampo. You know, I'm a hospital as a year. How much I see you put in, you know, oh, wow. That's a more as I suppose. Yeah, what at the bar. And you'll be in the year, no, like a boy at National. Baby, yes, what not there was baby. No one as I see it. I don't know why you're fool, and why you say, obey a cuckoo in the infant will be here. One quarter of the safe. Go down. Yes, quay, and I said, I am penny crony, and I see how you see what I say, I feel like you would draw. Okay, yeah, about so we still having a conversation, and he's telling me they came down during the war, so they are here because of the war, and after the war, the chief decided to settle them because they actually came to help the latter people fight the war, and after the war, the chief gave them a place to settle, a place that they can stay, and hence where we are right now, hence where we find ourselves. And since that settlement, what is happening is that the chief ensured that they could get as much land as they could get, all the way from here. If you know Ghana, we are at Latte, so all the way to Dodowa, to Sromenya, all the way, it connects all the way back to Accra, and all the Krobo places, they are all around. So this is how far and how wide and how big this township is. It's open to maybe so within the first. That was maybe so. But over there, but my body, some of us about what he appeared, dear son. As a young man who plans no fire and no idea what in penny. Oh, wow. Only about night and did it try to cry. Prayer can the man was sick. That the what man was that the what happens. Now, hold on, and now we are seeing hands have worked out, and we are seeing a deep room. Well, maybe we have a papa, yeah, maybe to my muscle. Yeah, 9, let us are 9, let us 4. I see, I want papa 19, papa, when you are paying over, I want 19, 12. And I want papa 19, 14. Remember papa, papa, yeah, 19, Berman, so I want 19, 19. Honestly, tell you 1914, 1912, 1914, 1919. Look for one family now. Maybe 2 words and no person in Yamania. You are paying in a main penny, and I'm a make it back. Oh, okay. So what must say? You could turn to a crowd, and there's a woman said, I am every name of 1 hour when I am so you are saying that I'm a man, if you know, my sisters who need to our sister with that one conversation. Hey, not a wing to bed. Oh, we will come about 18 years and after this. I never see me crowd about 25 to 30 years. Hey, oh, 30 years can only buy. Ah, if I say, Papa, number Papa, you are for Papa Yare 9 different cases. I was mean a many days, a minute Papa, the Papa, you're calling who got us, Nakoran, Strum Papa,
papa je papa na kapra ke ka papa te ngiri bia na na wahi ti ngiri bia na red na wahi ase tire se papa je se nkora na re yawo se na ya kapra ka ma fure me de yawo me mi din me de yawo me you me din me de yawo me de ben din be kan ama na ka je me se yawo be bo hwe ka se yawo be bo hwe na ase tire se je nkrum ka san be bo hwe ase tire se enye hwe pa ya be kon ya ko na ba ya be se na ko je kura se Sutum, then you acquire the first year. Papa Beco, wish of course, you had no doubt, mammy, bed me under my affair, die, but can't yet there. Oh, but you say, I met a Boston one at Yaki. And I made famous, I make school could do 66, and this is 66.
Maybe do school. So I'm still having a conversation with our elder, and he's telling me how far they've come, and they grew up in a typical village. Besiansi, they grew up in a typical village, a very typical village, and he remembers his dad's big sister was born 1912, then his dad was born 1914, and his dad's little brother was born 1919, yes, 1919, and since then the dad was a bit sick with the leg, what we call elephantiasis, and whenever they were going to the village, he remembers that the dad would tell him not to worry. The dad would tell him not to worry about what they are saying or what everybody else is saying. He shouldn't do anything. So the dad would bring them home, and no matter what it is, they would make sure that the dad will find food for the whole family, with the dad's feet being big. And he remembers growing up, his sisters were big. They became very big before any of them even knew what menstruation was. I.e., they are growing according to time. They were not growing too fast, if I might say. They were growing with time, so they were enjoying their days. And he even didn't know a woman till he was about 30 years old. 30 and plus, that is when he came into a woman. So he's trying to tell me that life then and life now is pretty different. It's not the same thing. And it was we at school in 1966.
Yeah, 66.
No, sisters now from one.
Number Pakuma, material, a Tavian. Farms, a burden contractor, the farms of the local state, no, I'm missing. 66 when say. Amazing work, price. The time I open Kwame, I open Kutaka, Bokutaka too, and about 2 to the Oba to Kutukadi, over Tolo,
Matinity.
2 to the worth of near many we could have. I saw now, like a sound soup, a baffy, and a big baffy, a bag of nuns who are my papa. I sang with Gary and some I have consumed. The boat was on my phone about, but never said so this was connecting in 66 to 69. That may be a number so that no, I said, Nanka, when I'm a brand and I must say, we didn't so no Kusuja. No Kusia, travel working on the account. And come with a Kusuja. Brother said, Busiani, Yefini, and Papa, Mapani be. Then the catcher of Mr. Mabusia. Yes, auntie. The sea rolled to us, I have 7 years. 7 years in work, you know, Penny. If you know, Mancasa, say yes. If Miss Martin said, Sabi, would they a better man who had the name father, yes, and them to my say, and we are fed out a cat, you ain't who. You see, I'm so bad, dear man, I'm Moka.
We ye a Jumano, no so bad.
Hey, there's any more beyond the pen. I'm a sure man who said one of my matter.
Hey,
Papa,
hey,
and look like on me, you must say, if you last meeting, go far. Sabi, I said, who not met you and change, and our Nana, the sack of our Nana.
Hey, wow.
He said, well, when I met in the maybe my last Douglas 73.
Wow.
That was his year.
Wow.
And it would come now. Many parametin piano, I'm a contano of a good this, what a good, say, popular name, and now a good Kawana or Kuruma. if you were as soon as here, the Janamati. Papa so bad was he was your man. Yari, the chummy. Didn't have to see a bit of baby. I could find me. Papa said, idea. Tableau was in some car, travel now, make us cabin out the Fiaca. Papa said, idea. Because I'm missing weapon and quiet. And we are Juma. Wow. And the idea of Yanonka. Yes, Gala Quima, come up on a so my Juma. Walkway, the quitting room. I thought that too. Border Guard Commissioner Otuka, who Kumo Flowers and Marty, the work of now Bodanini. We need to work up for one. Say,
Remember Mukaka, so we're still having a conversation, and he's telling me a lot of stuff, all the way back to when General Kotoka, General Kotoka. Kotoka. General Kotoka. Where
I'm coming from regime.
During Kwame Nkrumah's regime, General Kotoka was
airport Kotoka.
General Kotoka was killed. He's the one that is named after Ghana's airport. General Kotoka. He witnessed the death of General Kotoka, and also he's been through it. He's telling me he's been through it because from 1966 all the way to 76 is when he got his driver's license. And he's been around. He's been doing his stuff, and he remembers that when he started learning how to drive, he got 3 different women pregnant, and it's like every time he's trying to do something with his life, he will find himself sleeping with a woman, and it went even to an extent of sleeping with the person who employed him, or sort of the master he was learning from. He slept with a grandchild, which is a bit crazy. So he was saying that those days was a very fit and strong man doing all the hard work. It's not now that he looks weak and all that. And I was telling him he's not weak, but he says that because of the 3 different women that he slept with, it had to be a situation where he had to literally now have to work. He had to work and pay for the customary price or the bride price of the 3 women that he slept with. In Timbamians and Zisamoy. I don't know more.
I don't know about the name of Bratia. I don't know that money. I couldn't do
it. Firstborn 73. The firstborn was bet around 73.
Secondborn is 75.
Secondborn 75.
Fourthborn is thirdborn is 76.
And the thirdborn is 76. Wow.
Fourthborn is 85.
And the fourthborn is 85.
Yeah.
Wow. This is your more. I'm winning. Oh.
Now, I want to say, now.
So the first child died 82 when he was 10 years old. But the last 3 are all around. So I am more best row.
No, my banner that is in a while. Now, open. Now, open on our own and up for well being. Never firstborn said, woman said, what over water. Put us in, now so I know a day, and you're back to what I said. Well, I do not call my sister B or what we didn't see maybe my sister, young but fat. And then I know crowd said, there's a wild lady.
Oh,
there was some that were cranada, your call, who was some
by fan coin.
Oh, Papa, or that one I call for the visit to pay asset, who there was some area. And I know minimum your master, yeah, maybe Banuma main cock country, upon our far, the banner. Until we see what I said here into one cost some on no right by use in the camp 139,000. They are some of our country, I was in one country, you know, upon a yawn. I'm the consul, I am my quadrant, and I want to warn and chances here on anything. And what somebody did. Ah, the other one, some of the thousand here, one my another 3 weeks. Give me for 29,000 November and I better not take a hand. I can't pass them. I saw him. But we are also meditate that the groom were cutting by a time in the American. I'm a son by a maybe yet. If I say, Kura, Timmy, Kuku, if we could say, and more of them.
So I'm just having we're still talking. We're just vibing. This is not going anywhere. Just having a conversation. So he's telling me that obviously I've said that the firstborn died, and the secondborn, the thirdborn, and the fourthborn, they are all ladies. So I was asking him where they are now, and he said, oh, they are all married they are all with men, and men have, because they are females, they're all moving around with men. And the last born actually had a child first, then went ahead to meet another man with 2 other children, and now the first person has taken the first grandchild of the last daughter away, and they are actually trying to look for where this granddaughter is.
Yeah, now we'll see
where this grandchild is. So it's even a case at the shrine now. It's even a case with the priest now, that, or the chief now, that they are talking about it actually. So and they have to pay 29,000. Is it 29,000?
Yo.
They have to pay 29,000 to actually settle the case. So it's actually a pending case that they haven't yet or fully settled yet. Intina also quite cocoa for so.
Yo, I'm ready to. I'm missing something in our bar. Couple of cocoa. You are all the new pepper. If you know them, pack up pepper, that's a hand mountain. What do? That's a man can say.
Okay.
Because we know we've been 18 years old.
Wow.
I'm making back at time so. Make back here 152. You know, me put 2 out, we put 2 crowns also need. No team up around the same person. Tell me, I'm near dinner on Zap, or I can't get it. You know, I'm 2 crowns. I mean, no man about it. What's when you are eating? And they 80. It is noon and a quiet. Only 10. Number 9.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Let me tell you what
I'm out with 10.
Men and catch you.
What panel?
Make you bow.
I wait you back. I wait you back also compare when you're in to oh, I would 10.
I'm catch you. Men 9 or wow. Obama back on airport. You say, Mamma 8.
Hey, so
make it about what I got to make it about me and that. Honestly, I do not see our for Kumasi. You may honestly what now, or your baby was me. No big what you do to watch a barn.
Obedi a drugu kukwasi.
Oh, an office I could walk at.
Oh, I remember about so we are still talking, and he's telling me that he's actually been through it. He actually moved after this whole incident. He moved to another village to settle with another woman for about 18 years, farming cocoa. And the last child of the father came to him one day and said he needed for him to help him marry a lady that he saw, and they went ahead to do the ceremony. And this young man fathered 9 children, 9 men and 1 lady. So 10 children, fathered 10 children, and these 10 children, they lost 1 man, and they lost 1 man, one of the sons. So they are left with 8 sons and 1 daughter. So we're still talking, and so we're still talking, and he said that the 3rd child behind him actually went to the office. He works at social work. He used to work at social welfare in Kumasi. Went to his office and sat on a chair, but somebody had gone ahead to actually put down juju, or what you say obia, or what we would say medicine, edro, had done stuff on the chair, done some rituals on the chair. And when he came to sit on it, he started developing a type of hernia that doctors cannot even explain. And so also the Bema started on
about 2 months. And yeah, a friend doctor, we didn't come on Concurrence. Doctor, and to go baby, or take oboso bi nkai be say 3 months wo me enko me nya ho den ye bibia fefe na mo anu papa ma me se me ya me koko no ho to we besra me ni na me ko ade chi na be say 3 days time ba 3 days time me tia wo se me na wo o de sini ni de sini fi so wu a o wi an ko da ni pa wu asa na wa kuma boso mo no fi o de be to kwan no hu koko e diska asa e di ni ko no asa na o de nako.
Wow.
Ye we na.
Wow. So he said that he had to take the brother to a spiritualist to help him because they realized that the hernia, his penis actually started swelling up and mixed with hernia. It was a mixture. And when they went to the spiritualist, he was actually working on him. So they came here first at Latte, then they left Latte to where the spiritualist was. And when they went to the spiritualist, they started working on him. But what happened is that he left the place to go and visit the wife where he was farming the cocoa. And when he went, 3 days later, he was told that the brother had died. Now watch this. The brother was at a spiritualist place. So at the spiritualist place, you cannot die. The shrine does not entertain the dead. So when somebody dies at the shrine, it literally means is that you've defiled the whole place. And if you've defiled the whole place, they have to now sacrifice sheep and chickens and goats and what have you to appease and purify the place. To purify the place. So it means that you cannot bring filth around the shrine. And this is interesting because unlike the church where people carry dead corpse, people carry corpse to the church and perform funeral ceremonies and what have you, in the shrine you cannot do that. You cannot bring a dead body to the shrine, because if you bring a dead person to the shrine, you defile the whole place and the god will literally go mute. So they have to now do a lot of rituals to purify the whole place. Well, that's a mumbo kappa. Wow. The father gave birth to 9 children. All the 9 are gone. Is left with only 2. Papa was 9, 10 in 9. 7. Wow.
Back paying or bar, and I'm saying, 2019, 2019, Afini, February 8 and 9, and 80 years.
Oh. So the first one would have been 80 just this past February. Yeah. So she died at 2009, and wow.
And I noticed you being so, notice and so men are metos 1 9.
So he's the fourth born, and he's still alive. So the 1, 2, 3 are all dead.
Yeah, when the phone you know, I will grow my name and send out men and the Metiba a being and I'm
to wanna wait you, baby. So he's alive, and 2 children behind him are also not the one directly behind him. The next one after the one directly behind him is also alive. So the 7 are gone. In the end of my omusa.
And then I say, and young Conifium because the banner, but Wabi, I won't buy and indeed. That's not the poor hospital in and no kind of count the post uncle. I go home.
Wow.
A cravings of a yard in the center. And I want to see him. You see, Tamano Oba, about it. na sabe ohun ye kakra kwa otu ye ba fa wo mi papa ya ata ni mi papa sei ono oba wa kwa kutira o fa na we bian papa mama kura da mama kwa kutira kwa we bi oda me me ti ban ko ye ata oba ba ni ba ko na wa to ba ni de we gudada na ko bere ma sabe ono wo he ma no wa ma ko ba ten na sabe ba o kun yare ana se be da den ko tia na ko na me brother yare o bre o yare gina no na o bere ma foforo o ba ni o bere ma foforo
wow
ye ye ba na ba ko no na ka che na ka se papa se na de na ti sabe na ye be hu atirin na sabe no ko en bara na yi
oh wow
dia o ye de bia oh yo ga boy tanten bi so o du o je wi sa ne se wa ye kuku bia sabe watu so skin na tika kakra na se bia sa na mutumi hunya o me wa pa se na o he fe wo mi si sa nje no ko se mu so tamu no kan se sa di abe to ndi yen na ye me ye ho ade atan ni si ni kwa na se na si eno so ho amane
wow
sana e bo mo de ye no na ye si
wow
you see no we kura anche na ne ire no so why you mesa so class na on di dia oh na me brother so aba kwa no on so aba kwa no
wow so
we down ko de na yin na go asisi o asisi so we me kwa me kwa me o ma men kai
ndin kola no
o bia fa no we brother
o bia fa no we
na ka kiro o mo no aba we ya ba on so wan ko school ni ba hin bia o mo no ya ba bakwa minim titru class o ye kura no ye adi free ho adwuma ana makwa ndo bakon so ye driver ana won akaka go merima o mo san ko school ana wodo o ha meso akokora meso mereti wa meso mere gbe mo kakra.
Wow. So he's saying that one of the siblings had 10 kids. And eventually he also died because the wife literally killed him. And what happens is that he got sick around his penis, so he wasn't really able to perform much in bed. But what the wife was doing is that every time the wife was going behind him to sleep with other men, and that's how come they had all these other 10 children. But the wife didn't want anybody to know, and the wife was doing it was doing discreetly. So the minute the husband found out, that is the brother, the wife decided to end the life of the husband, and they left. So the husband left behind 9 children, which are all scattered now. So when he died, as the brother died, the brother also made sure that he came for the wife. So the brother also killed the wife because the wife killed him first, and it's a bit bizarre and sad that all of these things will be happening in a single family. Wow, inti opening we near you into would you draw a draw bosom a draw would you do?
Oh, opening the number of the men 2 years. Oh, I take maybe many be move. Take it. Maybe 2 years. 2 more. Sabi, almost only a dinsifu. Me and do maybe 2 men, and we crack a caca. I said the answer in Mukuram, be a quite or bottle.
Bottle needed.
Bottle. You got first say, what you call we, that's why Drew I said, come up with 7. Heading in a boom. The boom, you were soldier. To say, we just are, you will see, I could be a biasa, now the cuckoo, showing cuckoo. Yeah, it is so. Maybe a drew, a boom. Maybe I have boss on pie. You will be quiet, or what tea? Yeah, the tomb. Yeah, I do not know that's soon I said Jabu. Guess you were going to say Jabu team. Say Mononails and Jaja Papa, never tear, never headed. Have a yam. Yam. I bought some pie and then big crack cry to Tegus. Yeah. Oh, this year. Men of Catro. I am Manaquan and from a Manaquan. Yeah.
And this are no more day.
Oh, and I said, Sabi, Bruno. Obuwa oni aduru anate bi so wetima komo wetima ka se 7 bia e wo fi so ni obeka no bia no kware ala bi sa wo duru saban ha ma ya wo ho nyina obi wo a onimo otumi ne kasa otumi to saban fa fa otumi ye adwuma wo ta se no de nam nduru no so mo sia o mo ye nduru se nya me che na o me ni fi na ye wo evers fo bi wo ye wo wo so dia fi bi do kum na ntwi bi wo botum kura be se bi sa na sa nan so wo so no so hu se wo so ya de bi wo bi fi bi sa no na ba wo se bi o se mesi wati ni din ti pa ko ba be sa na ya le ama no mo ato na to bi sa se na me de ne ba ni ya ko ho ntia no ko wutu ho na ne sa me se me de ni tue bi ni mo mi hu ba ne se ya wo se ona ko oyo de sibi sanga wu o se o nyina ka je sibi wo ko la bo se ye nkrum ha ye bo sum ka te bi yango ne ba sa ba se re bo e no wa na ka ti no so ba la te ye bo sum nkrum ha o ti gana ko ni to ate da ya ha no o ko ko bi an ti ro se ha no wa da ben so tama e ba me ya o se minim so bi ka bi ya utibiti na mbi sa ye se ya o ma be ye ho adwuma ko kora ho se ya mranto wa me se wa sa se ya o ye osofo wo so na ono wo se ka kora plan ka on trem
Meba on yemende. So I'm asking Elder that if he believes in spirituality, if he has any information about spirituality, and he's telling me that, oh yes, of course, he has information about spirituality, that even him growing up, they came to meet a lot of spiritual gurus around, that they used to do a lot of things, and even by way of doing, he has learned a lot of things. He can go to the forest and pick about 7 different herbs, put them together in a pot, and maybe take a snake's head and cut a snake's head and put it in the middle of the pot on the herbs, and then cook it together and cook it till it's totally burnt. And when it's burnt, they would now take it out of the pot. So you use 3 firewood, 1, 2, 3, put the top of the pot on top of it, and cook these 3 herbs with a snake head, or sometimes I'll come with a snake head, and then just cook it till it burns, then come and grind it. After you grind it and it becomes powder, then now you can cut blood, like a chicken's blood or whatever blood you want to cut on it. Then whatever you say over something like this, I'm not going to share the herbs with you, but whatever you say over things like that, it will happen. You don't even need to go anywhere. It will happen. But what he is learning is that even those that all the mighty, huge, big, great spiritual people that he came to meet, they've all died and gone. So the fact that you are a spiritual person or you understand spirituality doesn't mean death will not come for you. That even in this town, there's a powerful God in this town, that they don't play around, they don't joke with it. And if you are able to come to this God, his name is not even mentioned anyhow. Before you want to mention the name, you have to do certain things. And he said the name, I'm not going to repeat it. And he said, even the current priest, so they call the priest pastor, Osofo. So when you are called Osofo, it literally means you are the one that preaches or speak about the particular God in a particular village. So the term Osofo or pastor is actually not a term for Christianity. It was a term that the religious people copied from our spirituality. So the Osofo is the one that will literally the current Osofo, the current what the religious people will say pastor, don't even sit in a car. He never bought a car, he never sits in a car, he never goes anywhere. Into what's your antenna car mukra?
We were to another track one. This is one track one, but I let's say 2.
Oh, that's not car.
On to come here. Uncle, don't welcome the bar there. Yeah, and I can say. Because no, also, so young bosom. No, I was cannot please also answer. And to climb at Abata. To say, if you only if you know, also cancel or scour. You overdo by Canaso now. One say 1 year and Papa now. I'm not sure
2 minutes or Oscar.
no ska ni o de be transfer na say one year or man kwanso na o ye say o de be for in ya pen say o e one year kura una
obey you
for yan kura ya wa ya de mu suma no ya mu bosam kumase ni obi a wo isi aduma fia akopokom afia kokumase agene oku ya kwesine de nsa o busu nsa la wo kumase de bia afia no abrofo fi first man oba kromo a no o ya millionaire e wo abrotiri e fa ataho eno oba ye obosom kese no oba na chen ni fi wo ase ha ana obesia aduma ze akoma aduma no ya rasta no oba ne bebi wo say me hu ne ba no ne bebi wo say sia you di oba no ko share abrekiri memu na 30 years asana oba ya asana obisa de ma me wo yin asana wo tire say ne ma me ni endu be say afia bi mpa be ne ma me kura ku ne sa kran pi abrekiri no oba no be tina la ta ti oba ye na sabra na baby amekira wa ka na ho asem ti wo wo abrekiri to an fona ma no ba ye yen plaza no be ya de we si pile bi wo kwa no ye do be ya ho ti ho ka kran no be ni gramo no the bar over here sa on so the flower the gramo be ye me papa no so on so aka baby on da to ni na san kran ba ber man na mkru wa ya rasta ni ma mi oburu ni na papa no ye gana ni ko ba do ya jangi wa la to anti fi bi wa bona wa ko ha ya sisia.
Wow, so I'm asking him why doesn't he pick a vehicle, and he says that anytime he sits in a vehicle something would happen. So it's either something happened to everybody in the vehicle or the vehicle would definitely have an accident. So he hardly sits in a vehicle, and that the reason why he doesn't go anywhere, for him to actually move and travel anywhere, there has to be a lot of sacrifices. It has to be a sort of emergency before he will move anywhere. And very soon I'll actually go to this particular god and this particular shrine and speak about it. But I'm just having a conversation with my elder, and he says that when you come to be a priest or a sopho to this particular shrine, you have to make sure you are disciplining yourself. You have to make sure you're leading a righteous life. You have to make sure you're not chasing after women, you're not going after drinking and stuff like that. And you're not chasing after money, because the God himself is super rich. The God himself has a lot of money. He's super rich. So he doesn't want you to do anything. That is why they don't go anywhere. That he was telling me, people travel all over the place. It's the people, the indigenous, that don't have a lot of value for this particular power. That people go all over the place. People move all over the place. And they actually come and do stuff. That there's another millionaire in the Western world. He's actually Ghanaian, but he moved up there, and out of this same God, he became a millionaire because he valued the God and he did certain rights for the God. So there's a powerful God that we have here, and you only see the benefits of him when you value him. And those who don't value, well, he's here and he's not chasing after anything because he has his own money. Wow, let's just papa with you when my back or some power.
Wow. And I so how do you win my area in your
me? I feel me first time about
high yaw. They had a latte, a groom, I am Makumako and the 7 days. There were latte, there were broco, there were blue, there was association, there were two, there were Manfred. Our menu crew, there were Mampo, there were two, a buri. Dinner, maybe the FBC, because Makumako 17 times. Wow.
Yeah. That's so we didn't want bunch.
But we didn't the yaw.
Yeah, then.
With the Siam.
Yao Siam. So I'm all this while I still didn't know the name, so I'm actually having a conversation with our elder Yao Siam.
But the man was my dick I never go.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same who I'm a best friend. Brother, said about from Yeah, we can put on somewhere at the good. Yeah, Papa, woman, better man, also. She can't live in the. Better baby, mouth, Papa, brother, married to home. Oh, dinner me. Many female yarda.
When yarda. When yarda.
Me yada Koran Catholic hospital, and saying I'm going to be able to hear come and pour her. And I have insurance in a baby, Uncle GBA. Send me the house out. 3 months. I'm a from Yakopon. Brother, Mr. Minakopon and Bonham Pass, and I'm one day. No crime, I have a
yeah, I'm doing. So he says he's never been sick, he's never had any disease, nothing like that. And he knows that if he should die, then it means that's his time, that nothing can kill him, nobody can kill him. Because with all that he's been through, he should have been dead by now. So that is why you saw him get up. He says that he give all the thanks to the Creator for the gift of life. Like he's never been to the hospital. He's never laid down his entire life. He's been through it. He's seen stuff. He's been through a lot, and he's still here. So he believes perfectly that for him to die, it has to be his time, and he has no grudges to that. Wow. Jahaya no what did that be?
Is it me security one for you?
Where security one? Oh, okay. So he's actually a security man. So every time I come here, I will literally come and meet him here.
Yeah, oh, we are now a security one.
Hey. Hey. Oh, yeah, security 103.
What do you spend over 103 years? Over 80 University bar. Original plastic chair for private Joshua. 25 Ghana cedis. Original plastic chair for private Joshua. 25 do try not part of the bank money than we back on the banks who are opportunities, few opportunities. What they do opportunities here? The day is will be a new time I come across this toilet to Panana and say, oh, 2014. Original plastic for private Joshua. 25 Ghana cedis. Original plastic chair for private Joshua. 25 Ghana cedis. Near fame. Original plastic chair for private Joshua. 25 Ghana cedis. Original plastic chair for private Joshua. 25 Ghana cedis. Original plastic chair for private Joshua. 25 Ghana cedis. What do you say about the let your home cry as a room. Let you get kicked 2 times.
Let you get kicked 2 times.
Waiting. They say you know, away.
Hey.
Who is some big
wow.
No,
just let it come close.
When you have the crown
so he's saying he actually got burnt. The fingers, everything came off. That everything actually got burnt out. He actually lost all his fingers, and he's still alive. Hence, why he's saying that for him to die now, he will know it is time. It is his time. If it's not his time, he knows he's not going to die. He's currently a security man, and he's been through it. He's been through life. He's been through crazy times. He's originally a security man, and he says that the security that was here before him, he was 103 years old. 103 years old, and he's he's in the 70s, late 70s, so he knows without a doubt that he's not going to die now and he's going. Opening out, yeah, that's it. This is your friend, could you bend it?
Let the baby a time to say no, yet, or the weapon, you
or two could you?
If a council say, you make a joke, CPS something to Papa Ebook. This is a little meeting with the Papa dinner come dinner. Yes, friend of Remy Emmanuel Opoku Siam. What I said, Siam, you meant penny. I want to the MSN, you cannot be a baby. My Emmanuel Opoku Siam. It's a wool, they will not. One more bar, no what they may do. What I say,
Medas, it means yeah.
It's been
they be a member around them, maybe. That's really a member when Fato Fantabin. Fato Fantabin.
And I'm by Jones, my mom and no man.
And me doing that, my Joe.
Brother, but you, I mean, finish it out. Maybe I will not fight you. What the frame a Kakran Muse, to be a whatever see our barman with Dink on. Now, me and I'm a pro now, I want some pipe will be an answer that no, I don't ever make you a pattern. That's a bar. Miss Aquanca, but my Joe numbers, but